Hi, everybody. This is Dorothy from Dorothy's Armchair Psychology. And today I want to talk about the death of Kobe Bryant and the way it's affected all of us. Um, First, I want to send out my condolences to all the families and rest in peace to him, his daughter, and the other 8 or 9 people that died on the helicopter. It becomes a sad situation when we see something like this happen so globally to somebody famous. I think it causes all of us to wonder about our own lives. We wonder about our own mortality. Because if it can happen to somebody like him, it can happen to anybody. And I think that's where our minds go automatically. Um, this week I've seen grown men tear up and cry. I've seen people, drop, out of life momentarily. They just didn't want to um, deal with anything, even though they have no connection to Kobe other than knowing him through basketball. I've seen some people admitting to depression and just overall worry about their own mortality, the mortality of everyone around you. And it's a valid feeling because we never know what's going to happen. Um, we never know when we wake up in the morning. If we'll be laying back and down in our own beds that night. It's a worrisome thing. It's a hard thing to deal with, but I think we all have to deal with it at some point that there's going to be a time where you're not here anymore. And whether you live your life out 50, 60, 70 years, 80 or more years, or if you go to Mars, it's not up to you because you never know what you're going to come upon in a day. But we do have to look at ourselves. We have to look at ourselves when it comes to death and realize that death, you know, can come immediately. And for me, that goes back to, maybe repairing relationships in your life, getting the junk out of your life, and start working towards being a happier person or that happy person or just more of a carefree person. I won't even say happy. Say a carefree person that's not focusing on things that can't possibly affect your life. We spend a lot of time on the internet these days, and a lot of the things on the internet are pure trash. But, this is how, 90, probably 99 or more percent of us spend our lives. You walk into a room of people and everybody's head is down these days. It's hard to get people to look up from those phones too. I've seen videos of people walking into fountains and, nearly getting hit by cars because they won't lift their head up for a minute to make sure they're safe to go across a street or something like that. What happened to Kobe and his family and the families of other families involved is a pure tragedy. But like I said, it's something that can't be avoided. So the other thing that maybe you want to think about in your life is to just make life a better life. I know at one point he was estranged from his mother and father. I'm not sure if they ever fixed that, but I pray to God that they fixed that before he left this earth. I pray that they did. He was very estranged from his mother, father, and I think his sisters for a while. And I just pray to God that they fix that because there can't be anything more horrible than to lose your child, someone you loved, and someone that loved you at some point in life, and not have said, to them recently, I love you, or, I need you, or that, you're a good son, you're a good mother, you're a good father. I know every family has problems in it, but it's up to us to fix these things. I always say to people, forgiveness is the biggest gift that you can give to yourself. And most times when I'm talking to somebody about forgiveness, most of them say, "Well, I'm not there yet." Well, it's time to start getting there. Most people really don't believe they have the ability to forgive in the way it takes to forgive somebody for that stress to be out of your life. You have to give people that have done horrible things to you sometimes. And it's not for that person, it's for yourself. It's for you to get some peace in your soul. Your soul can be, it moves all that old stuff out so you have a place to put goodness and peace and happiness. Everybody in their life has had somebody done something tragic to them. But how have you handled it? If you're still carrying a grudge and walking around trying to figure out how I can get this person, if it's a year from now, if it's 5 days from now, if it's 3 years from now, that's time you're wasting. That's your mind, wasting your mind on things that really aren't going to help you at all. Because sometimes the revenge is what may get you set into a new category. Take somebody that's mad at their boyfriend, he been cheating and all that kind of stuff, and no, you're not going to forgive him in a day or nothing like that. But burning his car down or all his clothes, putting bleach on his clothes, that's not going to help you either. Eventually that'll probably get you in the point where you have to pay him money. The best thing to do, if it was that easy, would be just for him to get him out of your life, period. But if that was easy, we all would get rid of former boyfriends very easily. Former loves, I'll say, because I'm speaking to everybody, not just women. So I'm speaking to everybody who might have a bad seed, we'll call it, in their life. Most people have feelings. They're not as tough as they want you to believe they are. There are very few people that are you know just rotten to the core, but they hide it in different ways. You have to hide it because you don't want people to get a hold of what um, would bring you down. That takes a lot more discussion. That's another discussion I'm gonna have a little bit later. But yeah, this is a time to reflect. You know, what would happen if something happened to you, or if something happened to somebody near and dear? Even if it's something that just makes you get your insurance in order so that after you're gone, the people around you won't have a lot of financial burdens. They have insurance at a very affordable prices now, and you can usually bury a person $5,000-6,000, whether you bury them, cremate them, whatever you do. Maybe something it'll make you think about. Maybe you've had a health problem for a while. Just go to the doctors to see if you intend to be around, and see if you can get that fixed. Maybe it'll make you go out there and just make peace with somebody that you've had a problem with for a very, very long time. I was talking to a lady the other day, and she was telling me how bad her father had been to her whole life. And like I said, I'm not a psychologist, but the thing you have to look at when you have a bad relationship with somebody is, you have to look at your part in it. It's not always the other person. Sometimes two personalities are just so alike that they just clash. And sometimes it is somebody taking advantage of you. Sometimes you're taking advantage of the other person. But unless you sit down and estimate the situation, you'll never know what it is. You're just mad at this person, you know. Now you know I constantly say my the solver of all my problems is the Lord Jesus Christ. I believe wholeheartedly that He, get in there and help you fix things. But if you are a person who does not believe like that, you know, the best thing that you can do is start going within yourself to find things that, look at the situation. Did I do something to cause it? You know, did I egg it on even more? But just try to get yourself to a point where um, you don't have something like this happen to you and you haven't said the words you need to say to that person. Or like I said, or just get them out of your life. Period. If it's somebody you can't deal with, but you should never, somebody who you are angry with should never be affecting what you do on a day to day basis. That's one of the ways. One of the things that peace is about. That hey, you may be coming at me in a bad way, but I'm not going to let you disturb everything I do because you're like that. Maybe you're the problem in the situation. But it's never going to be settled unless you assess it. So, like I said, I want to give condolences, send condolences to Kobe's family. It's a sad, sad thing. I'm from the Philadelphia area. So I've known about Kobe since he was a young child because he was a star even when he was in high school and everything. He went right into the NBA after high school. So I'm one of those people who was aware of Kobe many years before uh, he ever went into the NBA. And my condolences to his family. My heart really goes out to the three little girls who died on there because they'll never get to live life and have boyfriends and have uh, get married and have children now. So think about it and, just, you know, get a little bit of reflection time and sit down and see if it's anything you need to do in your life. Like I say, here we are non-judgmental. I can't tell you or anybody else what they need in their life. All I can do is if I'm asked a question, answer it the way I would answer it. But just put it out there to give you the idea that to sit back and reflect on what you feel like you need to do in your life. And, if you like the channel, I'd like you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And come on back sometime. We're going to have some great videos coming up. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this. But, I think the point gets across. Whether I stutter a little or whatever, I think I get the point across. I forgot to put my glasses on. I forgot to do this too. As they say, the armchair doctor is in. Y'all have a great day and we'll talk to you soon. This is the armchair psychologist signing off. Bye bye.